What's up, everybody? It's Marty here, and you're listening to the Nintendo Dads, episode 435. It is July the 13th, 2003. Or golly, can we just start that over? Like, you could tell how long it's been since I've done this, right?
A little ring rust.
Yeah, a little bit of ring rust.
Marty, introduction, take two. Ready and go.
Hey, thanks for listening to Nintendo Dads.
A little fizz.
Hey, thanks for listening to Nintendo Dads, episode 435. It is July 13th, 2023. And no, I'm not Tim, but I can tell you that on the show this week, we're talking about the Super Mario movie coming to streaming, brand new Mario Kart 8 tracks, and a ton of game release news and updates. Jesse, cue that beautiful bean music.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that is right. You are listening to Nintendo Dads episode 435. And that voice at the very beginning, who did need two takes, but I can't blame him because he's got a little bit of ring rust. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marty Estes returning after a long sabbatical. Great to see you again. We saw each other recently, though. But Marty, how are you today?
I'm doing great, baby. Things have been so good over here. Just busy. That's the way of the working man, you know. No, seriously. Life is super busy, and this is like when the plane touches down for a brief layover. That's what's happening, because the next 2 weeks I'm not going to be on the show either. But in August you get full frontal access to Marty. Now that's probly not the best way to say that. It's not the. That was not the
right term.
Still working out the glitches. You get full access, full and total access. Okay. I'm back, baby.
Back at it like a bat. You can even tell like you're like Dusty Rhodes. You're like, baby, and you just hear it petering out. You're like, I got nothing.
I'm tired. It's been a long summer already, but we're going. Vacation starts Sunday. And this is probably the longest vacation I've ever taken in my entire life. We're going to be gone like 10, 11 days. So we're good.
That is fantastic. And as always, and I was on vacation and I saw you like a week ago.
I know.
Just over
it was really cool.
It was great. Got to have some lunch with you, hang out with your wonderful wife. We got to have some ice cream, right? Got to sweat it out in Nashville because it was hot. It was hot and sweaty.
You know, I ran your description of Nashville past some people here in the state of Tennessee, and they said that checks out. So
my description of Nashville, ladies and gentlemen, was the following. It was as busy as Vegas. It smelled like New York with a hint of barbecue sauce. That was essentially my translation of Vegas.
And no offense to the people who listen to us who live there, but at least it didn't smell like New Jersey.
Right? Yeah, New Jersey. What is up with that? Speaking of a guy who is actually banned from New Jersey and 2 other states, and we're going to learn about that later in today's episode as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jesse Waldeck. Jesse, how are you today, sir?
Good. When you said bean music, I'm like, I don't have a flatulence button.
We should.
Why do we not
have a fart?
I don't know.
We're a dad podcast, and we don't have a fart button?
That's never come up before.
Well, how 435 episodes in is it only now coming?
I'm gonna be honest with you that when you're like me and you've had dinner a lot of times right before you come on the air, you don't need a button.
No, you sure
don't.
I
mute my mic a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
No, fair play. That on another podcast I was on one time, one of our co-hosts just ripped a massive fart in the middle of recording. You could hear it on the recording. We pinpointed the time, and we would go back and listen to it every now and then when we needed a good laugh.
That's wonderful.
That
is wonderful.
It was a room clearer.
Yeah. Jesse, some big changes for you recently in your household. Do you want to share that with us? You're now a hippie. You're some weird, dirty hippie, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I did talk about it a bit last week, I think. But my wife and I each bought new cars. She bought a hybrid. I bought a 100% EV. And we're both enjoying our vehicles. She's already gone on like 2.5 road trips with it, and we've had the cars less than 2 weeks. So
how do you go on half a road trip?
Well, it's a talent.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. She's put on 2,000 miles on her car already, and I think I hit the 100-mile mark while I was out this afternoon.
Wow. Wow. All right. Wow. Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that that's occurring for you, and that's like I said, you're a hipster, and you got your electric vehicle, and yeah. But again, reminder: can't go to Jersey, can't go to Florida, and you can't go to the state of Alabama.
Well, I don't think I'd want to in either 3 cases.
Those are the ones on the bingo card that Jesse's is not allowed to travel to those 3 states. Why? None of your damn business. Thanks for asking. All right, folks. As you can tell, Mr. Timothy off. We have given him the week off as well. There was some behavior and some rhetoric in the last podcast. I did not like his attitude, and so he has been suspended for 1 week. I apologize for what he has said, and a formal letter of apology was sent out to the parties affected. And so basically, I didn't like what he said about me, and he had to write me a nice email saying that he apologizes. And so he is still suspended, though, for a week. HR is having discussion with him. It is my version of go sit in the corner and think about what you did, Tim. In all fairness, in all honesty, Tim is busy with, I don't know, whatever he does, IT, security, patchy stuff. I don't know. I sort of zone out when he talks about it. But I know that Jesse, you and him talked about 3rd tiers and re-tiers and emergency patches and IT testing. It was a real journey last week, but I appreciate you guys holding down the show. All right, well, folks, let's jump into the news, because let me tell you, there is a ton of news to get through.
I don't know how we're going to deal with it.
There is not a lot.
Maybe a double-sized episode this week.
Yeah, we may have a long conversation about wherever we banter off to. But hey, folks, this show is brought to you by Manscaped, but I'm going to talk about that later. And the news, of course, and the ad-free version of our podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/NintendoDads. So, folks, if you want to get our show completely ad-free, head over to patreon.com/NintendoDads, and it's for as little as $1 a month. You get an RRS feed, no ads, just us. There's a $1 tier, $5, $10, and $30 tier, and there is pre and post show content. There is a lot of additional bonuses, but hey, just head over to Patreon, and for $1 a month, less than a coffee, you literally get this show ad-free, and you support us to do stupid things like travel to different states and attend Nintendo events and do fun things. So thank you for that. Jesse, let's hit our news bumper, will we? All right, folks. So let's jump through some of the news items here. The Super Mario Brothers movie. I've heard about this movie. Heard it's a small little indie title.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't stay very long in the theaters around here.
Did not
Just a couple of days.
Any smash hit songs from it, and barely made any money. Barely made a dime. Right? I think they lost money on this one. Well, that folks, if you are in the US, it is coming to streaming service Peacock, starting exclusively on August. I think it's August 3rd specifically too, right?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure the physical version of this just came out like 2 weeks ago. So they are aggressively getting it out to people to continue watching.
I think I've had it maybe a month.
Yeah.
It came out like second week of June, because I got mine around that time. Yeah.
Okay. But again, a really quick two streaming service. So again, if you have not seen it, and again, I'm not American. Is Peacock's a streaming service? Do you have to pay for it?
Peacock is NBC's streaming service, which now holds exclusive rights to The Office. It will be the exclusive streaming home of the Super Mario Brothers movie as well, for at least for a time being. And also, they have a partnership with WWE, where they basically took over the WWE network, which was where all of the old programming and pay-per-views for WWE are being shown. So they have all of that.
Right. Which I guess Peacock is logical, because Peacock is NBC, and NBC is associated with Universal. And this was a Universal distributed film. So that completely logically makes sense. Now, if you were like me living in the Great White North, I have no idea where it's going to be streaming in Canada on our streaming services.
Never.
Zero clue. I should probably research that and find out, but I do not know. Maybe someone can start Googling.
If you'll just keep talking in a circle, I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna keep Googling on that one. All right. So yeah, that'll be. Have you guys watched it anymore since you got it?
Yeah, I've actually rewatched it on.
So how many times have you seen it then now?
So it'll be 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Jesse, what about you, sir?
Amazon Prime Video in Canada.
To view or to buy?
It says it's available to stream through Amazon Prime Video. Oh, that was July 6th.
Yeah, I think that is to purchase it.
It will soon be. Okay, so let me do a little more digging.
That's okay.
Yeah, I have not seen it
since
since
Crave, I think.
I have not seen it since the 2 times I saw it in a theater.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's fair. That's fair enough. I'm I don't have a DVD player, so I didn't buy and I could watch it streaming on like a Apple, but I was like,
you can buy it for to stream for $25.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I have disappeared with my physical media of that kind of stuff. So I have not bought a DVD or an actual CD physically in decades.
No, I meant you can buy the streaming rights to it for $25.
I don't like that.
Don't you want to do that?
No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't.
Nintendo wants you to give them more money.
Listen. Nintendo has already got a lot of my money. All right, they don't need more. They can just simmer down a little bit. All right. So,
are you sure?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that is the wonderful Super Mario Brothers movie. So if you're like one of the 5 people who probably have not seen it, but you have Peacock, go see it. Check it out as well. Some game release information or updates that you should be made aware of, folks. Myth Force. This is that game. It was in the last showcase. It is based on it's drawn or animated as if it's an 80s cartoon style, is coming out on September 12th. When I saw this in Marty, I obviously thought, man, this is definitely a Marty game for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I wonder if they could have just got the rights to something like a He-Man, because I think an actual 80s associated IP may have helped that a little bit more. Would you agree, disagree? What do you think?
Yeah, I do. But I think it can be good to have an IP. Obviously, like a beat 'em up game is way better if it's a Turtles game.
Yeah.
Right. So like Shredder's Revenge would be great, is great as a Turtles game, but it'd only be good if it was like random characters, right? Fighting frogs or something like that. I don't know. But so this totally looks like an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Like He-Man, the old Dungeons and Dragons or Dragon's Lair type cartoon. I think that it would have been fun to have that, but I also wonder how limiting it would be, because I think that when you get into that, there's only so many ways you can tell a story, and there's only so many characters you can use, because you're licensing characters, you're doing all that, and it's kind of like it's not a game, but like I'm thinking back to the recent, Netflix recently had the Transformers War for Cyber, or was it Siege? Yeah, Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom shows. There were like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 6. And those were good, but they weren't like, part of the goodness of them was, oh boy, Transformers. Right? And so with Myth Force, I would really like to see this succeed and stand on its own merit. And it would be neat. What I think would be neat would be if they had like a crossover and like you could download He-Man as one of the characters. But I don't know that I want like the full, oh man, it's He-Man and Man-at-Arms and Tila and Sorceress, running through this dungeon, because there's got to be some room for like tell your own story or whatever. Yeah. But this is absolutely 100% a day one up a release for me. Okay. And I'm hoping that we can get some people from the community together to play it, because with it being 4-player, like roguelike dungeon crawler type, I don't know, looter shooter, I don't even know what type of thing it is, but it looks like you need multiple people.
It really spoke to your video game love language.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good news, pal, because I care about you. I already put in the submission for the review request. I saw that come in. I was like, I
love it.
When Jesse asks for a game, I tell him to get stuffed. But for you, yeah, I absolutely, I'll find that for you.
I mean, you got AEW a week and a half early for me. I mean, that was.
Man, I'm out there hustling. That was enough. What I'm saying? I'm out there hustling, trying as hard as I can.
Every day you're shuffling.
Every day. I was talking today that I was doing the fat kid shuffle, right? The truffle shuffle.
I don't.
Speaking.
Oh, okay, that kind of shuffle.
Yeah. Speaking of games that are also coming out, and actually, I want to jump off this one, Marty. Did you know, speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that DLC that was being showcased recently, that new DLC trailer dropped for it today, and they did not show a date.
Of course they didn't.
Frustrates me. I'm like, if you're going to show a new trailer, another trailer, just show the date.
They just say later this year,
2020,
which is
it looks great. It tells more, but like, come on.
I want to say like October release date for that, probably. It feels right.
I think
as long as it's not the same date as Mario Wonder, because then that game isn't going to get played at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, then I'm not
Mario Wonder is not going to get played at all.
No, I mean the other game, the Turtles game.
Yeah. No, I think I bet you it's going to be August.
You think?
I think so. I think August feels right.
But it's July. So if it's in August, would they have not just said?
I think it's an out today. I think it's one of those surprise.
It's in September then. It's at Nintendo's Direct. Out today on Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that a lot. Hey, just before we jump into some more games here, I do want to call out our wonderful folks who are joining us over in our Twitch chat. I see you there, Mikey Dreamer, Trucker Sloth, Ms., Mega Noise, Acid, TK03, Sean Capri TV. That sounds like a dumb name. Mikey Dreamer. Yeah. Thank you for being here, folks. We appreciate it.
Mecha Dragon.
Did I not say Mecha Dragon?
I don't think you did.
Mecha Dragon's always here.
So Mecha Dragon's in there?
Mecha Dragon and Mecha Dragon.
Ooh.
There's 2 dragons, and they're fighting for each other's supremacy. Who will be the ultimate M Dragon?
I'd play that game
today. Would you not? Right? Like,
why has there never been a fighting game with dragons?
Double Dragon's a fighting game.
Yes, but they're people.
It would be better if they turned into dragons.
Want like claw on claw, fire breathing. Do you remember Primal Rage?
Yes.
Why have we not gotten an updated Primal Rage?
Primal Rage was like a 3rd tier fighting game, right? There was like,
I don't care.
If I think about like the early to mid 90s fighting games, it was like Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. Yes, for those of you who remember Killer Instinct, right? And then it was like Fighting Rage, and then there was like 1 tier below it, which was the Claymations thing.
No. Okay, so in the when you go to the arcade, there was an A, B, and C. All right.
Yeah.
A was Street Fighter. Always. A was Street Fighter.
I would
And for me, A was Street Fighter, B was Mortal Kombat, C would have been Killer Instinct, Primal Rage, but there was a D tier too. Do you remember? Really? There was a game called Time. It was Time Warriors or something like that, where you could like cut off people's body parts. I mean, like there was a guy with a chainsaw. That was his literal like thing.
I think I remember that game.
Jesse, can we get a Google search on Time Warriors and see if we can throw it up on a share screen here?
I don't know.
This is
one thing I did want to say is
Time Killers. That's the name of it.
Yeah. I'm going to say, if you know, you know, and these two don't know. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You'll find out when you get there.
Now, listen. Okay, fine. I'm just saying. We're not talking about like Kung Fu on the Atari being A tier.
Yeah.
No.
Weird.
Time Killers. That is found.
Time Killers. That's it. Okay. But no, seriously, like I would love a rebooted version of Primal Rage. It had like a monkey and a T-Rex and a raptor and this like the thing, that it spits the
like
acid, like in Jurassic Park. Yeah. Totally capitalized on that late 80s, early 90s big love for dinosaurs.
Yeah, for sure. And you'd almost expect like the Predator or Alien to show up in that game.
That would be so good.
Right?
Alien as DLC.
But hear me out on this idea. Double Dragon, the game, but you get like a special, and your special is you turn into a dragon, but it's a short like burst special for like, I don't know, 5 seconds. But after that, here's the thing. But when you come back, your life is 50%, like your life bar. And so it slowly regains up to 100%.
Okay.
I think that'd be a pretty cool feature.
I'm I'm
Listen,
fine with
I know
that.
Double Dragon. There's a new Double Dragon game coming out in a couple of weeks from now, so they should just add that feature. You're welcome. That's a freebie. I'm sure you aren't. You're not wrapped up in its gold right now. Speaking of some more games that are coming out soon, folks, Jackbox Party Pack 10. Some new games are announced. Time Jinx and Hypnotorious. Hypnotorious.
So now we're
my
hypnotizing
resident
people.
Jackbox fans here, Jesse and Marty. Why are these a big deal?
Well, mainly because they're new games, not sequels of previous games. The Time Jinx really didn't get a lot of description.
Okay.
In its video, but the Hypnotorious kind of did explain the gameplay a little bit. It's like the game hypnotizes you to think you're something else. So, and say like an example was a monkey, and then you're given a prompt to say, what would you say in this situation? And then I think everyone else is trying to guess then who you are.
Yeah.
So again, not 100% sure about what's going on based on the one video, but
yeah, interesting.
I'm always interested in seeing new games that does not require drawing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was just going to say that I think like it might be time to like take a year and not release new Jackbox games.
Oh, okay.
It's a little much at this point. Like if you have all of these, you now have 50 different games that you can play if you get this one. And the last two packs have just not been really all that great.
Ever since Murder Hotel 2, it's kind of gone downhill.
I was going to say that. Now the wheel of the one in one of the last packs, like the Wheel of Consequences or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. I did like that.
That one's good. That one's good, but some of them just end up being like really clunky and drawn out. Like I think they need to go back to the drawing board and take some time.
The Wheel of Enormous Proportions.
Yes, I love that one. That was a hit. What I wish you could do, I wish they would do this, but they can't. There's no way they can do this. Is that you could build your own DIY Jackbox Party Pack where you pay a certain fee, maybe just a little bit, maybe $5 more than your normal party pack, but you can decide which 5 games are in it.
That's a smart idea. Look at us like thinking of all the smart video game business
ideas. But how would they do that? Like, how could they do that for every person on the, like,
you'd have to go to like basically their website and it would be build a game. Right. And then somehow it would have to be
then you would have to download all of them individually. Like I'm thinking of how you do that on the Switch.
It'd be like a games as a service thing where you're downloading everything, but you only have access to what you're paying for. Like
I think that's a smart idea. Like what if Jackbox had a $5
then they can just patch it instead of releasing new games every year. And then you can cherry pick the games you want or just buy them all as a bundle.
I want that. And and they could do downloads for Trivia Murder Party, for Quiplash, adding in new fresh prompts, could get the 2023 pack.
That's a good point.
Now with more submarine jokes.
Yeah, with more submarine jokes. Like you always need more. Oof, and untimely ones too. Hey, speaking of some more games
this joke is sinking.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of more games that were announced, Mikey Dreamer reminds me in the chat here as well that the EA Sports FC 24 is not a legacy edition game for the Switch, but is actually a full game, which
absolutely
would be, very interesting to see. Now, this will obviously be the first time since EA has lost the FIFA license, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But Mikey calls out in the chat here, hey, they probably had to do more building of the game from the ground up, but still very, very interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I like also here in the chat. Miles Doodling talking about games as a service. WarioWare would make a great games as a service. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I was going to call out. Was like I'm not a huge sports fan, but I think it's a big get for the Switch to actually be getting a full featured version of soccer.
or football, depending on where you're from. But like having it's got all of the things that people ask for, like the legacy mode. It's not just like updating the roster. Like I had to manage a player, manage a manager career. You're able to do all those things. Is built on the Frostbite engine. So I think what I would love to see is for them to like get a fire lit under them to do other sports, Madden. Of course, people are going to say NHL and NHL 94, but I mean, like that.
Why would you not?
So, I mean, maybe this is the start of that, but I think on the Switch with a successor, more than likely on the way, it's a little too late.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then they're going to use that. They're going to go, well, it didn't sell.
Yeah, right.
That's EA's favorite tactic.
Mikey calls out here Ultimate Team and Frostbite engine. And again, FIFA, as I think across the pond to our fantastic folks over in Europe, FIFA there is massive in regards to like game sales. Like it is, it's hard to actually describe comparatively. When I was over there, seeing it selling, seeing how people were buying it, like just seeing the culture around it, the banners for it, like it was probably the most publicized video game that I had seen when I was in Europe being released. And so
really,
like it was like there was posters at grocery stores promoting it, and so it sides of buses, right? Like it is definitely bigger than anything that I've kind of seen in that way. So very specific. Speaking of some more games too that got announced as well, the folks over at Limited Run had a presents earlier this week. Going to run down a couple of games now. Some of these are coming, I believe they're all actually coming physically, but there are some new games that we are going to call out that I think will be very interesting for people to be aware of. Castlevania, the Advanced Collection, Rise of Triad, Lucarus Edition, Kumacha McReal, Scarlet Symphony, The Making of Maractai. What is this? The Koya Koya Tiger Healy Collection, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition, El Shada Ascension of the Matrodon HD, Dungeons of Ether, Chicory A Colorful Tale, Odin Cat's Paradise Collection, Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. Specifically, though, that's coming to the Game Boy Advance. We'll talk about that later. Eresis, The Jewel of Faramore, A Nightmare in This Way, Madness Lies, Midnight Fight Express, Colossal Cave, Another Crusade, Gargoyles Remastered, Rose and Camilla Collection, Double Shake, the Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection, Color Tower, Tomba, and Gex Trilogy are games that are coming out. Now, also, I am bad at pronouncing games, and some of these games literally sound like they're made up. These are not real games. I don't know why people put these in here. Basically, all of those games minus Shantae Advanced are coming to the Nintendo Switch, and usually, of course, with Limited Run, they make limited runs physical games. Jesse, sorry. Justin. Why is this important? Yeah, I'm yawning here. Why is this important, and why is it in our docs? What do you want to highlight?
All right. Well, I saw this as a result of a video that came out before I even knew it was part of the Limited Run thing. But the Shantae Advanced Risky Revolution is a game that I didn't even know existed. It was developed. It started development in 2002 as the first sequel to the original Game Boy Color Shantae. In fact, they started developing it before Shantae even launched. Okay. And it was in development for 2 years before they realized this. It's time to shelve it, because at that point the DS was launching and other things, and then now they dusted it off and you're going to finish the game, and it'll be out early next year.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm interested in it. I'll be keeping an eye out for it.
Yeah, Mecha Dragon keeps me honest, and he says, "Hey, you forgot Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, the definitive edition as well." So thank you, Mecha, for keeping me honest as well.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. The games that I saw that people were the most excited about were Tomba and the Gex Trilogy.
Yeah, so Tomba is actually a PlayStation exclusive.
And
from back in the day.
Nintendo. Oh, okay.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, so and Gex is it's 90s platforming fodder. It's like Bubsy and Radical Rex and Banjo Kazooie and all those other throwaway mascots from the 90s that nobody really cares about anymore.
Sure. Any of those games pique your interest, or any of the like physical editions of stuff like the Castlevania
I'll
game?
probably do Tomba, but I'm more interested in the digital version of that. I already have the Castlevania Advance. It's weird to me that Limited Run is having to handle the physical release of that. Like, Konami, come on. That's really just cheap.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, folks, those are our major news items. Why don't we hand it over to an ad break and talking about our wonderful sponsor, Manscaped. Marty, do you want to do this, or do you want me to?
I could talk about Manscaped.
There's no copy to read today.
I could talk about Manscaped. I could talk about the fact that Manscaped Crop Preserver has kept me moving for the month of June through 2 extremely hot weeks of camp. It is Manscaped's, and I'm not afraid to say this, Manscaped's own brand of ball deodorant, which basically acts as liquid talcum powder for your good bits. And it's very, very effective. Best I've ever found. And does a fantastic job. One application a day is plenty. But you can, like I have that. And I've had a little bottle of it, the normal size bottle of it for maybe 3 years now, and still have not ran out because I only use it when I know it's going to be extremely hot outside. But it definitely does the job with us going out to out toward the Grand Canyon and stuff this next week.
Yeah.
It's in my suitcase already. So it's there to be used. But I think a lot of people think of Manscaped. I was telling you this earlier, jokingly. I think a lot of people still kind of think of Manscaped as like, oh, it's just like hair trimmers, or it's just below the belt grooming. But more than 90% of the stuff that I use for Manscaped it's deodorant, it's shampoo, it's conditioner, it's lip balm, it's the shed that little travel pouch that I use to carry everything in. And the cologne that I use every day never lets me down. It's always quality products. I always feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of them. And so you can go over, and also I want to highlight this for people who don't know this, that we have a discount code. You hear us talk about this a lot, NINDADS, NINDADS. Not only does it get you 20% and free shipping on your order, every order that you make. It's not a one-time use code. You can use it over and over and over. You can also use it on the Peak Performance Plan, which means you can lock in a 20% discount with free shipping on the 2 to 3 items that you get from the Peak Performance Plan every 3 months or so, however much you set it up. So every 3 months, I've got it set up to send me a bottle of shampoo and conditioner and a new bottle of cologne. So, and you can switch those out actually at any time, or you can add to them if you want to. And that discount does apply as long as you have an account with them, as long as you have it applied to that Peak Performance Plan. So I think that's really cool that they do that. And it's a great way to save money.
Yeah. And I love the fact that it's just become like part of it's your day-to-day usage. Whether it's your body wash, whether it's just shampoo and conditioner, whether it's the deodorant, whether it's a ball deodorant, right? Like it's moved from you use their product maybe a couple times a month, right? From a body trimming to now you use it every single day. And as a matter of fact, when we headed down to Nashville a couple of weeks ago, I was, just like you, I knew it was going to be hot out there, right? So I threw in the deodorant and the ball deodorant as well, the crop preserver. And so got to keep yourself prepared. If you go over maybe you don't know where to start on Manscaped, you can head over to their website. They've got some great offers. They've got like the Performance Package 4.0, which is a great starter kit. They've also got the Perfect Package 4.0. They've also got the Beard Hedge Pro Kit. I was super jealous of this when it showed up here because I think all those products look amazing, but I don't have a beard. So I literally gave it to my friend to use, and he sent me a message. He's like, "This is an amazing product. What is that promo code again? Because I need to buy it." So they all smelled great. I was super jealous of it, but I did keep the beard trimmer. And they also have the Platinum Package as well. So lots of those lotions and grooming kits. So again, folks, you hear us mention a lot again. NINDADS, NINDADS for 20% off and free shipping. Let's head back to the show. So Tim put in a couple let's discuss questions. We got 2 here. We've got one which is kind of a fun family chat, and then we're going to talk about Microsoft and the FTC. So let's talk about the first one here, which is the question that was put in front of us was, what is the best game you and your family played together to date, and maybe the one that's had the most fun by all? When was the last time you played that game, and why was it the best? And finally, if your family said you get to pick the game that they have to play with you, what game would you make them play? So Tim's answers was this: the best game is Animal Crossing. Last time he played it was 2022. It was the best because we had a blast discovering our celebrating new events with each other and just being goofy. Hide and seek was pretty fun too. And he said the game I would want my family to play with me is Dead by Daylight. Everybody's over the age of is older, so don't worry about that part. But my wife has no interest in playing a horror game. She would jump so much. LOL. So Marty, let's actually go around the horn and we'll start this. Marty, best game to play with your family.
Oh gosh. I would say we all, I think the game we end up playing more than anything together is Mario Party, because it's something that anybody from any skill level can approach. Right now, I won't say it's the most fun, because sometimes in our family we have a problem with complaining and being upset that we lose. I'm not going to name any names.
Aaron.
Yeah, it's all Aaron. But it's either that or honestly, it's any Lego game. I really, really wish that they would do a 4-player Lego game. I don't know how they would do it, but I wish that they did that so that my family could play together, because we do really enjoy Lego games. Like my daughter right now is playing through the Lego Harry Potter collection with her cousin whenever they're over at the house, and Aaron and I always buy the new Lego game and play it together. Nice. So it would be that, and I would say the last time we played Mario Party was last week.
Okay. All right. Jesse, let's head over to you, sir.
We almost never play games as a family. Everyone kind of does their own thing, but the only thing I can think of is Jackbox games. I don't think we did it last Thanksgiving, so it was probably the Thanksgiving before.
Okay.
Yeah, normally when we have multiple people over, we normally go board game.
Sure. Yeah.
Then Switch games.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Okay. Awesome. And if you could force them to play one game with you.
Oh. Yeah, I don't play multiplayer games myself, so I don't know if I have an answer for this one.
Okay.
I do. I would like my family to try Overcooked again. But that's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. Okay, good calls. So best game. I struggle with this one. Because I think sort of like you, Marty, like Overcooked, we like Jody and I love Overcooked, and the girls will play Overcooked with us. But they don't enjoy it. I think the game we probably find the most fun in is Mario Kart. Like that's an easy, like, hey, what do you guys want to play together? Let's play Mario Kart. Like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Overcooked are sort of our like Venn diagram of games that we can easily get the kids bought into and playing as well. We played Mario, we actually haven't played the new tracks because my daughter's out at camp right now and we want to wait for her to come home, and we'll play all of the new tracks together. So I'll probably play them this weekend. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just one of those games that like just accessible, right? And everyone jumps in. Mario Kart is just so fun and accessible, and also customizable, and you can have your own stuff, right? And you can play it for hours. The game that I would want my family to play with me. That's a great question.
good podcast material here.
Yeah, I know. It's like Justin thinking. I'm trying to think of a good multi. I'm gonna say Overwatch, or like squad up full. If they could all squad up with Overwatch, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be kind of my commentary. But yeah, great questions. Great question there, Tim. Let's see what else we got in the chat here, and then we'll move over to our next question. Beer Bar Cerveza, Marty, do you ever let the kids win to keep the peace?
No.
Yeah,
I do let my wife win to keep
but
the peace.
that's just so that Marty can keep his life.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like Jody was raised in a family whose statement was like, you never let somebody win. Like if you're like the kids, you have to be beaten. Like there is sort of a like, yeah. And I was sort of like, that's super mean. But I will tell you, like, to a point now where like my kids can beat me in video games or beat me in card games or beat me in board games, I feel so much more pride than just like kind of like losing and letting them.
Yeah, I think you need to help them learn to lose graciously. Help them learn to lose and like learn from it. Like teach them through that. Like I don't like. Well, I was gonna say I don't overly celebrate, but I do. Like if I beat Isaac in Smash Brothers, I used to look over and be like, "You need to say it.
Yeah,
you need to say who's your daddy. You tell him who your daddy is. You know." But now he beats me at Smash routinely.
Yeah.
So, but I don't like. My wife grew up in a family where they would laugh at you and yell at you at the table if you didn't play cards correctly. So, and it was like a big deal if you weren't keeping up with the game. Like it's your turn, you got to play. And you had to know the rules and stuff. So, but I don't like last night or some other night we were playing Everybody 1-2 Switch. And she's like, "You're letting me win," and I was like, "Well, yeah, because I want to kind of keep you interested in the game."
Yeah, it is sort of challenging, right? Like you want to teach them, to your point, like how to lose graciously, and you also but you still want to keep them engaged, right? Because if they continue to lose, it's something to be like, I don't want to play. It's no fun, right?
Right.
So. Yeah, like right now, Morgan, when we play Fortnite together, she's really got into it last several weeks. So she's like, "Hey, Daddy, you want to play Fortnite together?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." I don't super care, right, for the season, but I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play with you for sure." And we're playing duos, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run off," and I get killed, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, I gotta come save you," right? And the amount of time she's had to either like heal me or reboot me, I'm like, "Yeah, she's got it. She knows how to do it. Like I'm relying on her for me to be successful." And so that's a nice feeling in regards to video game kind of, yeah. So,
well, I guess I have a half answer.
Sure.
It's not a video game, but it's a game I've been wanting to teach my wife is how to play Jin.
Okay.
Apparently it's a game she's never learned how to play. I've known how to play it since I was a kid.
What's the barrier stopping you from doing that?
Time. We normally don't think about it unless we're on vacation or in a hotel room, and we're like, okay, no, it's already too late. We need to go to bed because we have to get up early tomorrow.
You're like, I got better things to do than play Jin.
And when we're home, we don't think about it because we're busy doing our own things.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Cool. Excellent. All right. We got another topic for discussion. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen. Microsoft and the FTC. So some big news happened this week in regards to the FTC and Microsoft battling. Okay, so I need to scroll back a little bit. This is from Tom Warner at The Verge. This all came in on July 11th. Microsoft has won its FTC fight to buy Activision Blizzard. Judge Corley has denied the FTC's preliminary injunction request. So that happened on July 7th. Or July 11th. Basically, moving forward. Now, there's still a challenge of the CMA over in the UK, in the UK, and that was something that basically the commentary was Microsoft and UK regulators were going to begin to pause their battle to start negotiating to figure out what were the specific things that the CMA disagreed with for Microsoft and how do they end up solving those things.
Yeah, on Tuesday, I got a notification on my phone with saying Activision stock up 5%. I looked
Yeah.
at it and it's like, line, and then spike. And then like half hour later, I went up to 10% for the day. I'm like, did something happen with the FTC? Because this is weird. This is not normal. And then I did a quick Google search. Yep,
Yeah.
something happened.
So then after that, so this is again on July 11th, again from Tom Warren over on The Verge, again, does some amazing reporting. So I'm reading directly from tweets. Microsoft proposal is done as deal, not quite yet. The FTC has to make a decision whether to appeal by Friday night. If it walks away as they normally do, then Microsoft is free to close the deal once the CMA negotiation is complete. Otherwise, it is up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to decide whether it will halt the deal. So basically, the FTC could be like, no, we want to appeal this process. Anyone want to guess what happened? Anyone want to guess what happened today?
They appealed it.
Yeah, there is I don't think they've officially appealed it. They have till Friday to appeal it. Let me find it here.
Oh, I thought they had.
Oh, yeah. Breaking. The FTC has filed an appeal. Here it is. This is on the 12th against Judge Coral's decision to deny its preliminary injunction request over the Microsoft proposed Activision acquisition. Microsoft has responded to the FTC's decision and to appeal Judge Coral's ruling. We were disappointed that the FTC is continuing to pursue what has become a demonstrably weak case, and we will oppose the further efforts to delay the ability to move forward. That was from Microsoft. Really funny part is that at one point, the FTC's Wikipedia page was briefly vandalized and was replaced with the logo to be from PlayStation. So I thought that was sort of funny. The NASDAQ had announced earlier today that the Activision Blizzard basically signal or shorthand will be removed from the NASDAQ 100 index prior to the market opening on July 17th. As Microsoft and Activision get closer to closing the deal. As expected, things are moving very quickly with the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal. We get to hear the FTC's rationale for appeal today, and likely some of the response in the Ninth Circuit tomorrow. That would be tomorrow. Let's see what's going on here. The FTC has filed its appeal on the FTC versus Microsoft decision with the Ninth Circuit. So that is going on there.
Okay. Hot off the presses from Reuters. U.S. court refuses FTC request to pause Microsoft deal for Activision.
There it is. Yeah, perfect. I appreciate it. Yeah, somebody's actually catching up. SPC High says the appeal was denied tonight. Thank you. I hadn't caught up yet. Barring court actions, Microsoft and Activision can complete the deal as of 11:58 or 59 p.m. in San Francisco on the 14th, which is tomorrow. So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like this is finally going through. Now, the other hitch of it, and this again from Tom Warren, stating the CMA is the other kind of hiccup there, and the CMA was really this is the UK, was caught up on the cloud gaming aspect of it. Tom Warren is stating that the Bloomberg reports that Microsoft is considering selling the UK cloud gaming rights to a telecommunications, gaming, or internet company to allow the Activision deal to close with the CMA. So,
which again, I said this before, but I don't understand why the streaming is the big deal here. No one else streams well. They're the only one who does it well or at all.
Yeah.
So I don't see what adding ABK does to this. But yeah, okay, it did. Apparently.
Yeah, not 100% sure. But so, folks, it sounds like, all things being equal, tomorrow may be the very last day that we are going to hear whining and mincing regarding the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal. Looks like it's about to go through. As a Nintendo fan, I don't know, I mean, this doesn't impact us in the same way. Obviously, Call of Duty has been at the center of this conversation for so long. How do you guys all feel about this?
I'm just be glad when people are done talking about it.
Yeah.
There's so many people who I think feel like they have to have an opinion on it, and it has to be like a pendulum swing one way or the other. The bottom line is this, is that in this console generation, which I guess is the new generation. I don't know, like the next gen is current gen now, whatever. The bottom line is this, and people aren't going to like me saying this, but here it is. Xbox lost. Microsoft lost. They are losing money. They're hemorrhaging it. The only way that they can think to save it is put everything they can into Game Pass, right? So it makes sense for them to buy this huge company with lots of different IPs and have all of that under the umbrella of Xbox and be able to say, no, you can't have it unless you buy an Xbox. Because why? Let me put on my business Marty hat for just a minute. All right. Yeah. I don't do this very often, but here it is. I don't even have a hat. So you know what? It's going to be, hang on, I've got one. It's a cardboard box. It's nice. A business Marty hat. Here it is. Why are they doing this? And it just, look at that. It just flew right off because this news is going to blow your mind because they want you to buy an Xbox. Duh. Yeah. They want you to buy an Xbox. And guess what? Activision Blizzard stuff will not get me to buy an Xbox. I don't care. I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care about Overwatch. I don't care about any of that. Here's what I do care about. Microsoft bought PopCap and ruined them. They made great games like Plants vs. Zombies. No, EA did that, right? EA did that. If Microsoft buys this and it fixes all the issues with Activision Blizzard's crap, fantastic, because people are going to be playing the crap out of those games, right? Mm-hmm. Because people love those IPs, and they've been saying, we want a fix. But then when there's a fix that comes along, people go, boo, no, we don't want that fix. We want another fix. Well, guess what? There wasn't another one. There wasn't another one. They had to get bailed out because of Bobby Kotick. And so this is it. If you want those beloved IPs from Activision Blizzard, play them on Xbox. It's going to happen. Yeah. Actually, you can play them on Xbox, or you can play them on the next Nintendo Switch that Microsoft accidentally leaked in their court briefings, during this time, where it said that, part of the reason for filing the appeal or whatever was because of some ambiguity regarding streaming and also the promise of Call of Duty on the next iteration of the Switch. So, oops. Sorry, Doug Bowser. Maybe you and Phil Spencer can grab a salad over lunch and work that one out. But Justin, come on, back me up here. You agree? They want people to buy Xboxes. This is a good way to make that happen.
So I would argue the following. I don't think I believe Xbox is no longer in the console game.
Oh, really?
Right? What I believe Xbox's game is, they are. So let's not be wrong. Yes, they are in the console game. But I believe that their strategy is very different. Their strategy is about is about being accessible at any point. It's about the platform and the service being available. I think sure they'd love to, but they don't sell hardware the way that they need to, right? But if you can make Game Pass available anywhere through a browser, through a streaming service, through other consoles, those are the conversations they want to have. Call of Duty can become a backdoor for those things, right? You will inevitably gamers transition to an Xbox because maybe that's Call of Duty's there. I doubt that, right? The deals will be interesting. What are they? And is the Xbox deal I'm going to be interesting if PlayStation puts out an announcement regarding their deal with Microsoft, or if Microsoft more specifically puts out their deal, right? Because remember, they can effectively close, right? They can close the deal right away. We know they have deals with Nintendo. We know they have deals with other streaming platforms. The only deal they don't have yet is with PlayStation. And the team has been blunt and said, hey, by the way, we have a deal for you that we've offered you and you haven't signed. So I would not be shocked if tomorrow, before this deal goes through, you end up finally seeing an actual statement from Microsoft or Sony saying, we have made an agreement of Call of Duty coming to PlayStation for the next blah, 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 10 years, just like they did Nintendo. You're on mute, Marty.
I am. You know what would be the ultimate, sunglasses on, walking away from the explosion announcement? Is right before they drop this FTC, hey, it's closed, is Nintendo pops a tweet. Play all your favorite Microsoft titles right now on Game Pass on Nintendo Switch.
That would be banger.
Let's go.
Done. But
Yeah,
Microsoft,
I just checked the Activision Blizzard stock again, and it has gone up $1 during after hours trading.
yeah, Microsoft's deal is about Game Pass, right? So that is where they're making their money. That is where they want to be. That is what they want everyone to be on. That's the model that makes sense for them. And so it is about bolstering that catalog. It's about taking those things like Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, all of these things, and making them accessible through that platform. That's where you get people to come in the door. And I think, and that's their strategy. They want it on the browser. They want it on your phones. They want it everywhere. They want it to be the same way you look at Netflix in a renewal subscription. That has been their strategy for as long as they can be. I do find it interesting that like next month they are increasing their prices for Game Pass. This isn't a shock. We know this was coming for a while. And by the way, I don't think this is associated with the fact that about the same time that this deal happens to close, but they knew this was coming for a while. Prices have to increase. Makes logical sense. But that is where they're putting all of their chips. I would not be shocked if, do we see another gen Microsoft console? I believe so. But I believe probably in the next 10 years, you see Microsoft exit the hardware space and just be subscription, cloud, digital space. And that is the thing that they want you to be. This Quag 311. I haven't been able to play Game Pass all month because I've been too busy playing Zelda. Nintendo is without a doubt a competitor for Microsoft. 100% they are. That argument was the dumbest argument I have ever heard in regards to Nintendo is not a competitor. Really? Who's done the most video game sales? Really? Who's done the most platform sales?
Who's the top grossing software sales this year?
They're about Mario, not about shooty games. Like, really, that's your argument? It's pretty thin, pretty thin. But here's the funny part, Quag 311. You're not playing Game Pass, but you're paying for Game Pass, right? That's the rub.
And I got an email today about, hey, by the way, August, your Game Pass annual is going up $20 a year.
Yeah.
So guess, and the price is just adjusted from $15 to $17 for Game Pass Ultimate on July the 6th. So guess who's paying for this merger?
Well,
we are. All of the Game Pass subscribers, because it made $2 is not a lot until you add up how many people are subscribing to Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say yes and no. Like they have been clearly communicating that price change for 6 months now,
because they've been anticipating this merger.
Well,
we're paying for it.
Yeah, well, then of course you're gonna have to pay for it somewhere or some way, right? I don't think that's totally outrageous for that kind of price, but also I still believe they're the best value in gaming, like without a doubt. But yeah, I think it's been interesting. It's great to kind of see this now finally come to a close. Again, barring anything, but I would be interested to see again if Sony or Xbox puts out a tweet tomorrow.
I'll just say this, that for the if it's an extra $2 a month, right? And Microsoft claims in 2022 that Game Pass has over 25 million people subscribed to it. That's $50 million extra a month.
And they just spent $69 billion. They got a lot to catch up on.
Okay.
A lot to catch up on.
We're gonna and especially since we talked about it a few weeks ago, if you spend $100 million on a game to just put it on Game Pass, you don't have a lot of sales, of the game. Like Nintendo made bank with Zelda, that if it was on a free service, they wouldn't have sold as many copies, nowhere near as much. So it's a weird business model, and I'm surprised it's working for them, but apparently it's working for them.
I feel like it's a long burn.
Very long.
Like there was some long form projections regarding this to get them to where they are. So the other interesting thing I think as a follow-up from this, from the video game industry perspective, is what's the next acquisition that we see? Right. And I don't think it's going to be Microsoft, by the way. Microsoft is going to be like, we got to focus on this. but I think what is the game that PlayStation's going to make, right? Are we going to see them make a big move? Like, are we going to see them say, you know what, we'll go Square Enix? There's been that rumor for a long time. Square Enix
Or Sega
for sale. Sega, right? Lottie's a lot. I think you got to think of like who's a big player. Is Ubisoft, EA, right? Those are some big players as well. Would PlayStation buy them? I don't know if they have as tight of a relationship, but I think somewhere like Square could be very interesting.
Not sure if they have the cash to go with an EA or an Ubisoft.
Yeah, that could be the other
Microsoft
thing, right?
definitely had cash. Because they have the backing of the other side of that company that sells everything else in the world.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, folks, that is the wonderful world of Microsoft, the FTC. There will be more fallout from a Nintendo perspective eventually, and there'll be lots of interesting information about kind of the deals that were made. Let's move on to our events. Reminder of a couple events that are running on that you should be aware of. Our Discord community events, The Table, which happens every third Friday of the month at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The community gets together at the table, otherwise known as the Nintendo Dads Discord chat room, to discuss whatever's on our mind. So join us, come on in, and all you need to do is subscribe via Patreon or Twitch to get access to our Discord and join in on a schwack load of events like The Table and Monthly Mayhem. Speaking of Monthly Mayhem, folks, this month's Monthly Mayhem event, led to us by our fantastic friends over at the Dads After Dark show, is pick one of your 4 subscription services. That includes Luna, Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and Nintendo Switch Online. Then a game you've normally never considered playing, genre, perspective, or pedigree. Play it. You don't even have to beat it, and submit a written or video review. Why'd you pick it? What'd you think of it? And are you glad you played it? That's all you got to do. You got to submit that over to the fantastic folks over at Dads After Dark, and the best game review will win $15 eShop or a card, and we will do an additional $10 lotto draw for that as well. So giving away $25 every single month. Fantastic work done by John and Drew over at the Dads After Dark show. And if you haven't, make sure you give them a like, subscribe. They are part of the Nintendo Dads family podcast, and we love the work that they do. They are a big proponent for why Monthly Mayhem happens. They organize it on our behalf, and we just write them the check every single month to pay that bill, and we love it. All right, so
whoa.
Yeah.
There's also a Splatfest this weekend. It's ice cream themed.
Right.
Oh, that's this weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
I lost track of that.
Let's see. I want to make sure. July, I believe. July 14th. Yeah, starts tomorrow. And it is vanilla versus strawberry versus mint chip. Why was it not chocolate?
Yeah, I don't get it. I
don't understand that.
Because that is the definitive right answer.
No, it's not. But anyway, I'm team mint chip here. I can't do vanilla's too plain. Strawberry's got fruit. Mint and chocolate goes together. Oh, so good. So yeah, that's going on all weekend long. You can play beginning. Let's see, for our friends in North America, 8 p.m. Eastern through the 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our friends in Australia, July 15th at 11 a.m. AEST through the 17th at 11 a.m. AEST. Our good friends in Europe and the UK, just an hour difference here, July 15th, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. BST to the 17th at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. BST. And hey, if you're in Japan and you listen to us, you're probably already doing this. Right? So July 15th, 9 a.m. JST to the 17th at 9 a.m. JST. Everything should be in CST. Everybody knows that's God's time. So anyway, I don't want to figure out all those times. Basically, log in this weekend and play some Splatfest.
I think that it's a global. Once it starts for one, it starts for all.
Yeah. It's going to start sometime tomorrow. Get in there and show everybody how bad you are at Splatoon 3, just like me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Excellent. A couple of events to make sure you are aware of. There is the Nintendo Summer of Play Tour, and obviously head over to nintendo.com/events, play events, for details. Gamecom opening night live is August 22nd, and Nintendo Live 2023 and PAX West will be occurring on February 1st and will be running until September 1st, running until September 4th. As a reminder, I will be at PAX West on September 1st, and I'll be over at the Nintendo Live event on September 2nd. So if you are going to be there for any of that, hit me up in the DM so I can hang out with you, say hi. Excited to be there. We'll have coverage from both PAX West and from Nintendo Event Live for you on that weekend. Pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff. So thank you again. And obviously, by the way, folks, that is a thank you to all of our amazing folks over at patreon.com that help us support that and keep our mics and our lights on and get to do amazing trips like that. And I'm so excited I get to go with my family as well. So that is very, very cool. Let's move on to Jesse's Pokemon Minute. Jesse?
No Pokemon Minute this week.
Excellent. I have finally killed that horrible,
no, you didn't.
Horrible.
Niantic did that.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I agree with that because most of the things that they do lately have been negatively affecting the player base, but they don't care.
That's fair. All right, let's jump into what we've been playing. Marty, since it has been a while, why don't we start with you?
Miss says Pogo Who.
Well, so I have been playing several things that are games. And so yeah, I'm glad. I'm proud of myself. Just real quick, I want to admit that I'm back into Fortnite. Justin has already said that this morning or this earlier in the show that he was back in as well. I don't know that you ever left, but I did for a little bit. But for me, it was Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime brought me back in. So I'm 12 levels away from Optimus.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So I'll be, I'm sorry, 18 levels away.
I'm going to be honest. I was out, fully out. I was fine. And then Morgan got really back into it. And she's like, Dad, you want to play duos together? And I was like, I'm not going to say no.
No, you're not going to say no to your kid when they ask you to play a game.
No.
Right?
So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so all of a sudden I'm at like level 30 and I'm like, well, I haven't bought the battle pass. And if this keeps going this way, I'm going to be completing the battle pass. So sure, let's pull the trigger on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been playing that quite a bit. Also have been playing a lot of AEW Fight Forever, both on Switch and PS5. We bought it on PS5 so that Isaac could have it at home. And I will say this: if you have the option, you probably are going to want it on next gen hardware. It just runs so much better. I'm really glad that it runs on Switch well, and it does run and it's playable, but it looks incredibly good on a PS5. And I've spent most of my time there, honestly. However, I think the trade-off is graphic fidelity versus portability, right? And I do appreciate the portability of it, and I'm glad I'm going to be able to carry it with me on vacation over the next 10 days.
And they've got a new mode coming out, right?
Yes, the battle pass. Basically, it's called Stadium Stampede. 30 people get dropped into an arena. It's a football stadium. This is actually from a match type in AEW called Stadium. Anarchy in the Arena or Stadium Stampede, where it's like teams of 5 and they fight across the stadium. And so if you watch the video for it, it looks like absolute insanity. People are riding horses, throwing chairs at each other. Seats are exploding. People are doing moves off of the rafters onto the ground below. It looks amazing. And it tells me that, there's an initial wave of DLC that is coming for it, and one of the packs is already dropped, and each one gives you 2 new characters and some additional stuff. But it tells me, I think, even more. They're going to expand the roster out even more. So I still approve it on Switch. It's still good. Just if you're mostly at home and you're trying to make the decision, I would say go on the PS5 or Xbox Series S or X if you have it. I've also been playing Everybody 1-2 Switch. I didn't get to talk about this on the show. I really like this game. That's all I can say about it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's silly nonsense, and Nintendo excels at silly nonsense. While I wish that this was a new Nintendo Land or something of that genre, I think this is pretty fun. And we've played it, more than I thought we would. And my kids have been playing it with their friends when they're over at the house or cousins, and it's very accessible. And because of our limited connectivity, I haven't been able to try out the cell phone mode more than like 3 people at a time. Right. But I'm anxious to see how it translates over to playing with my student ministry group at my church. Since 100 people can jump in, I'm going to try that soon and see if we can do it, and put it up on the big screen like in our student room and do that. What else have I been playing? I've also been playing, like, I've completely dropped Tears of the Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah, and I've gotten addicted to Powerwash Simulator again. So I've been trying to finish up I guess what you'd call the campaign for that, or the single player. Yep. And go to work on some of the DLC, because there's been 3 DLCs released since it came out on Switch. You've got the Tomb Raider, the Final Fantasy VII, and now SpongeBob SquarePants, where you can power wash a pineapple under the sea. So I fall into that and play it more often than not, because it's something you can drop in and drop out of. But it's a lot of fun. And I bought Pikmin 1. I don't know why. I think so I'll tell you why it is. Like, I want to be excited for Pikmin 4. Like, I have the demo. I have not touched it at all. Like, I've not even booted it up. I want to be excited for Pikmin 4, but like, I feel like this, like, downloading Pikmin 1 and playing it again is kind of like the make or break for me. Like, I'm either going to really like and fall in love with Pikmin, and then play them all, or I'm going to just say, okay, this is not for me. Pikmin looks like a series that I would like. Like, it
ever played a Pikmin game before?
I have, but I didn't get into it.
I think you're okay to jump in at 4's demo, if I'm being really honest with you.
No, it's not that I feel like I have to play them in order, but I want to play them in order. Does that make sense? Like, I don't have to, but I want to.
But then I think you're kind of like, I see, here's the thing is, I don't know if Nintendo did good by releasing Pikmin 1 and 2 3 weeks before Pikmin 4 releases. I don't know if that was strategically a great idea, because I think then you're like, I'm way over Pikmin now, right? I think I have played Pikmin 4, finished the demo because I completed the amount of pieces that you need to do because I was stupid and I thought I could keep going back to it. I think it's a great game. I really enjoyed my time with it. I'm super excited for it releasing next week. That is the game that I'm like, that is the game that will pull me away from playing. Maybe that's a nice breather after Tears of the Kingdom. But but like Pikmin 4 takes like Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 and refines all those processes and makes it better and makes it more accessible. And I think my opinion, Marty, is just go for 4, download the demo and play that. Because I think that's where your conversation is going to be, right? That's where you want to be.
Okay.
So that'd be my statement.
That's what I've been playing.
Okay. Marty, you actually maybe want to sit in that pocket for a quick second. Quagmire311 asks a little bit more about Everyone 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
Favorite games in there, because he said, hey, Jackbox 8 and 9 were garbage, so I'm curious about Everyone 1-2 Switch.
So, yeah, there's not a lot of games in it, at least that I've found, but there's variations on those games. So we played a 40-minute round the other night. We played the quiz game, which is a lot of fun. We played the chef game where you had to like cook, which that one I really thought that was kind of fun. And then we played the samurai, where that one was weird because like we had played a version of it before with the phone, where you used your phone like throwing stars and like flip the screen toward your opponent. Yep. If you do it with just Joy-Cons, it's just swords and it's whoever strikes first. And then it's very brief. It's over. We did the UFO game where you have to like hold the Joy-Con and move it in rhythm with you say hoo ha, and move it up and down or left and right. That was okay. It tired my arms out a lot. But I did notice that there is, in addition to the game modes, there's a bingo option, and there's something else. But we were like, yeah, we're done. Like, we're not going to try that right now. So here's what I would say, that for $30 for some family fun, especially for people who don't normally play video games, like if you have cousins or grandmas or whoever, this is really a game anybody can pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's way more of a game than 1-2 switch.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, would you?
Yeah.
What do you think? Does it?
Yeah.
I think there's more meat. There's more content here.
Yeah, well, I think whether there's more meat or there's more content, the value feels better, is what I will say.
Yeah, okay.
Right. $30 versus the 60 or 70 at launch. The way I describe it best is it's like if Nintendo is like, hey, we should do a Jackbox game, but let's do it like the Nintendo way, where you can't make lewd pictures, right? Then this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it in a safe environment where everyone from a 5-year-old to grandma can play and have fun and be goofy and be silly. And so I think it does that really well. And I think the value price point that it sits at is really great as well. I think like the comparatively again to 1-2 switch. I think that to your point, like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of games, but when the games come back, there's kind of like a second level to that game. Right. So like the Ninja Star one's a great example. Like you're like, oh, there's a Ninja Star, and they're like, oh, there's Ninja Star 2, right? Which is Ninja Star, but harder. So they take an idea and they just kind of like add a variant to make it harder. So it feels like so sometimes it can feel a bit thin in that, but there's a lot of other fun. The bingo game is actually kind of fun. Like you're just playing bingo. And
I love how that's your description of it. It's like, we're gonna Ninja Star, but even harder.
Yeah, like I don't know how to do that, right? But there you go. But I do I think it is, you will play it in the evening with some friends. You will, and again, the other nice part about it is like it can be up to like 100 people, which is great. So it just has that kind of approachability party mode. You'll probably play it a couple times with your kids, have a laugh, have some fun. We played it a couple times here. And then the nice part is also like you could do like we had three people here. And so it was my wife and Morgan versus me. So, but then the computer kind of like gave me extra points for being a solo player. So it kind of evens it out as well.
So I will mention this. The website says that there's 2 modes, which are free for all, that are kind of non-active modes. The first one is bingo that I just told you about. The second one is quiz party. And it says here that you can even create your own custom questions. Oh. And so I think that's a pretty neat, bingo party uses your smart device and sees who can be the first to get 5 in a row. And it even describes itself, says it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
So the other one that we did was the pump the balloon game, where you have to pump up the balloon. That was,
pump it up.
Oh, and statues, ice cream parlor. There's probably about, I hate that one. I hate it.
Yep.
I'm looking at the, I think there's some games that are exclusively for the smartphone. Yeah. And then there's some games that are that can be either or, and then there's some that are exclusively for the Joy-Con.
Yeah. Beer Savesa asks, do you think they'll release DLC? Probably not. Could it have DLC? Yes. Will Nintendo do that? Probably not. I think Nintendo kind of wanted to get this out the door as is. So I think that's where they kind of sit with it. But I think if you're, again, you listen, if you're like, $30 maybe at high, maybe when it's on sale, it might be a good one to pick up as well. But I put it in that kind of Jackbox party game, but cleaner and great for family fun.
I'm counting on here 17 different games.
Yeah,
that are shown on the scroll.
And then some of those games have variants.
All of these have like 3 or 4 different levels of them.
Difficulty.
Plus you have the quiz and bingo that you can do separate. So,
and I will also say, like, for full complete transparency, Nintendo provided us a review code for our experience as well. So I'll just be transparent about that. Jesse, what have you been playing?
So last week I expressed my frustration with Tears of the Kingdom, and I made the statement because that this will be in my top 10, but I don't know if it'll be top because of how much I was frustrated with it. Then I said it depends on how the ending is. I rolled credits, and yeah, it's still a number one candidate. The ending was amazing, and I hope you guys can get there eventually to experience it as well.
Okay.
It took me 165 hours to roll credits, and I still had unfinished shrines, unfinished light ruts, unfinished quests.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm going to go back and backfill like I did with Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
I'm just kind of I'm putting this one away. I'm kind of done with it.
That's fair.
Spent 2 months of my life with this game.
That's fair.
And I don't think I've ever done that with a game before. Because even, Breath of the Wild had 150 hours total, but that includes DLC time, after the fact. So, yeah, that was that. I'm kind of done with this game. But yeah, the ending is awesome. And if you ever get there, be sure to bring it up again.
Okay.
And then I did pick up Pikmin's 1 and 2. I bought them as the bundle for $50 instead of, $30 each. Pikmin 1 I played through in a day. And there really isn't much of a post game on that one. You get the 30 items, you're done. There's nothing else to do. Pikmin 2 does, the main objective is to get 10,000 currency units. I forget what they're called, worth of treasure. When you do, you roll credits, but then there is a post game where the ultimate goal is to get all the rest of them, get what you missed, because like the fourth explorable area didn't even open up until I rolled credits. And this game definitely is, I think, the most difficult of the 3 that I've played, because there was Pikmin 2 introduced the underground areas where they cut off. There's no time limit. You can spend as much time there as you want, but at the same time, you cannot increase your Pikmin pool. You got what you got. There are ways to increase it a little bit if you come across a flower that'll do. Like some flowers will let you change the color, but a 1-for-1 up to 5. So you can change your reds into purples or something like that. Then there's another type of flower that's like white with color spotted, where you feed it 1, it'll give you 10 of the resulting color. So, but the color rotates between the 3, red, blue, yellow, and you kind of have to time it to hit the color you want. And I normally get it too early. So I end up getting 10 of the wrong color. But real, like the last underground place I entered, I came in with like 96 Pikmin, and I lost half of them in the first stage. So I'm like, okay, this isn't good. So I don't think I'm gonna. And of course, I think there's one. You're limited to 100 Pikmin. There is one treasure which is like a hand barbell.
Okay.
That requires the strength of 1,000 Pikmin to move. Therefore, you need 100 purples to do it. And, you can't just grow purples like you can the other colors. You can only get purples in the underground with the flowers that let you change colors. So it's a grind just to get at the 100 purples. But once you do, then it's a pretty quick trip to pick up that item. I remember I replayed it on the Wii, and I did get that item, and then I stopped playing. I don't know if I ever got all the treasures everywhere, and I'm not going to do that here. I'm kind of done with this game already. I'm going to give myself a week to play other things before Pikmin 4 launches next week.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. So some good games for you as well, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I will run through mine really quickly. Pikmin 4, as mentioned before, really love that. That was a great experience. I have also been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and it was last week after listening to your episode, Jesse and Tim, that I realized I needed to go do work on the pad. And for those of you that know or don't know, I was literally 40 hours into this thing and I hadn't actually like activated the camera feature on the pad and had not decided to go into the underground basically at all. So now I just spent like an hour in the underground area. This game is so amazing. Still love all of it. Every moment is just so cool and so awesome.
I still hate the undergrounds.
That's fair. Pikmin 4 has been a really nice kind of like just a different.
It gets better. I didn't like it at first, but it kind of gets better once you get used to
brain to work through. So I've been excited about that. So those are the games I've been playing. I got some information from Tim, so I'll read that really quickly. Tim says more Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm losing interest in it at the moment. I may need to take a break and come back later. I've also been playing the mobile game Harry Potter Magic Awakening, fun little card deck. Our card collecting deck building MMO with some RPG elements thrown in. You create a new student who joins the school shortly after the events of the last book and movie. I just got started, so I don't have much to share yet. I've also been playing a couple co-op games with my kids. Hell Warders for the Switch, a hack and slash tower defense RPG game with a third-person view where you defend a blue crystal from hordes of hell. Dead by Daylight, I think most people know this game is about. And he said, the palate cleanser has been everybody one to Switch. We played the quick 20-minute game and had a blast, but we have lots more to try out with this game. So far, I love this game's presentation and aesthetic. Also, who in the world was in this focus group? This game is a blast. So you've got 3 of the 4 Nintendo dads saying, yeah, actually, everyone 1-2 Switches is probably worth your time.
Unless they really fixed the game up in the last year from that focus group report.
Yeah, that could be right. That focus group report was from almost like a year ago as well. All right, so before I fall asleep, I apologize. I am yawning. Let's jump into the questions from our community spotlight. Warren G. Akers, this is a callback from last week's episode. Marty, this question is specifically for you and I. What is the worst mainline Zelda game? What do you think is the worst mainline?
I have 2. I'm going to agree with his Triforce Heroes.
Yep.
And then I'm going to double down on Majora's Mask. Garbage.
Ooh.
Can't stand it. I hate feeling like I'm pressed for time in a game that encourages exploration. Stop
it.
You're
going to love Pikmin 1.
Well, there you go. Probably a wasted $30 for me.
I am going to say, yeah, Triforce is Triforce Heroes is pretty standard. I struggled with Twilight Princess. I could not get into it. I could not grab me. That was just maybe I need to come back and try it again. It was great when it released with the Wii, but I just like looking back, just could not.
I think it needs a Skyward Sword style rebirth.
Nice call.
No, it did get a Wii U HD remake. Hopefully it comes to Switch.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mikey Bergen asks, with theatrical run of Super Mario Brothers pretty much done, it's a good time for some predictions. This is a 2-part question. 1, do you think any other films will join Mario in making $1 billion this year? In context, there have since 2020 been 5 films to break $1 billion, including Mario. And 2, do you think any film will beat Mario for the top spot of the year? Mario at 1.34 billion. I will actually answer this question. I think is probably the same answer for both of them, if I'm being really honest. I think Mission Impossible has a pretty good chance in regards to breaking that $1 billion threshold. Reviews are going well. It's a big franchise. It's summer blockbuster movie fodder, right? Sort of like Top Gun last year, right? And so I think that would be my guess. Marty, what about you?
I think Barbie could come close.
I was thinking that also, actually.
I really do. Like the more I was talking to Aaron about this today, that the more I see about the movie, the more I want to see it because, it got like Will Ferrell's in it. So to me, that immediately is gold. It was revealed today. John Cena cameos in it as a mermaid.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It just looks like that right type of poking fun at the source material, but actually having a message behind it. And I think it's going to catch fire. Like I really do. I think it's one of those movies people will probably go see thinking it's one thing and then it'll be another. So almost Lego movie-esque.
Okay.
But I don't know that it will come close to Mario. I think Mario may have a lock on this year, especially since the Screen Actors Guild just announced that they're going to strike as well, beginning immediately. Yeah. So now production and writing is pretty much just shut down, period. So they're going to, which means there's probably going to be a resolution sooner than later now, but that's going to hurt things a lot of movies that would probably be contenders for this year are probably already in the can anyway. But it's not like DC's got Blue Beetle coming out.
Yeah.
It's 40 days away and there has been a single trailer. That's it. So, that's probably DOA. It just doesn't look like a good year for movies.
They actually put out a new trailer to that the other day.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
This hasn't been a lot of promotion, I guess is what I'm saying. There's a new trailer for Wonka that's coming out in October. I don't see that going or December. It comes out in December.
That one until the other day.
It's like the Wonka origin story. I don't think that I can't see that one doing $1 million
for that
or $1 billion.
She
whatever.
She loves Willy Wonka.
Yeah, those movies are. I mean, both of them are good. I'll go see this, but I don't think it's going to go gangbusters or anything. But to me, I think Barbie's got the biggest chance. Probably people would say Oppenheimer because it's got the Christopher Nolan, cult following behind it. But I just can't see it being like, hey, let's go see a movie about an atomic bomb and make $1 billion.
Yeah, I really think Mission Impossible will probably do.
That's a fantastic guess.
Yeah, I think so. Jesse, anything you want to add to that?
I don't know if I don't really follow movies in general.
Yep.
Normally I just kind of pay attention to.
We don't pay you to follow movies here, Jesse. We pay you to follow video games, and that's what we ask you.
Yeah. So I did look up Across the Spider-Verse what it did, and it did just under 650 million in its run. I just did a pull up. This is domestic only numbers, but of course Mario's 1, Spider-Verse 2, Guardians 3 is 3rd, Little Mermaid is 4, which actually beat out Avatar. So which not by much, but it did. But not knowing as much about what's coming, I am looking forward to Blue Beetle. But I don't think that we're going to see any other billions this year.
Nice, cool. Great stuff. And I see some great conversation here in the chat as well. And hey, DJ Hazel, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Who else did I maybe not mention before? I think it was a new one. I saw jump in there. So I appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. That is episode 435 here over on Nintendo Dads. Thanks for sitting with us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your listening. We appreciate you contributing and being here, making some time in our chat, hanging out with us. We just appreciate you. And I hope that you are doing well.
I've got a gift for everybody.
What do you got?
I do. It's a free Yoshi sticker. You can have it. Just take it right here. Just take that right here.
Reach across your screen.
Reach out there.
Grab the free Yoshi.
Feel the warmth of my sincerity. Have a Yoshi sticker.
Nice. I love it. Folks, again, thank you for being here. Let me go through the rigmarole here as well. Huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberg, RJ Kern, Jacqueline Amira, Solo Something, and over 90 other plus patrons who support us every single month. Special thank you to our Twitch subs, the 16 of you that continue to do that. That now puts us over at 1,408 Twitch followers, which is awesome. And a big shout out to all of you who subscribe to us over on YouTube. That's 6,840 of you. Thank you. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for participating, clicking, liking, subscribing. All those really actually help us a lot, so I really appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. We really would not be here if it were not for you. So I cannot stress that or say that enough. Hey, you want to check out our website, head over to www.nintendodads.org, where it's our website. There's a ton of information, including tweets, all of our merch is there, Patreon's there, all of our other shows and feeds to our Nintendo Dad family of shows, which include Game Pass News, Dads After Dark, Retro Logic family of podcasts, which includes the Retro Logic On Topic, Retro Groove, and Film Logic. So lots of great content on our website. You should make sure you check that out as well. You should bookmark it. You should be there every single day. It also has our latest YouTube videos and tweets and links to all of our social media, as I mentioned before. Hey, and don't forget to check out, head over to Manscaped and use that code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. Big thanks to Manscaped for their continued support as well. And if you want to contact us, you can contact us in most places, but I encourage you to think about looking to contact us on Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube just by typing in Nintendo Dads. And we're on Thread. Not 100% sure why, but we're there.
I was going to ask if
we
have got it. Account.
It's the new thing.
It's the new thing. We've got it. So you can thread me. Is threading me a thing? I don't know what you do there.
I hope not.
But we're there. All right. Or you can email us, head over to nintendodads@gmail.com. Or, by the way, man, there are so many ways you can get a hold of us, but you can also send us a voicemail. Go 92925-NDADS or 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for all of the music that you hear throughout our show. One last thing I'll ask for you. Hey, if you're using a podcast catcher, whatever it is that you're using to listen to us coming into your ear holes, I'd love for you to head over there, go give us a 5-star review. It literally helps us become more accessible and more visible and reach more people around the world to share our amazing, lovely community with. And so we would appreciate that. 5 stars and a comment. And you could just say, this is a comment, or tell us what your favorite topping is on a pizza. I don't care what it is.
This is a podcast.
This is a podcast, right? Which of the dads is your favorite dad? It doesn't matter. The answer is always Justin. That's the right answer. But ladies and gentlemen, for myself, for Jesse Waldack, Marty Estes, and for a suspended, hopefully back next week, Timothy Off. Thanks. Have a great day. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
We sound like the goddamn Nintendo